All right, we're back at it. We're here with another episode of Trenton Talks. And today we have a very special episode. And I know all of the athletes are going to be looking like, what is this? Well, we're stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit. And this is for the ladies as well, because we need to know what's going on in Mercer County. And these are opportunities that people can look forward to. All right, so I want to go down the line and introduce a long list of special ladies. So let's start from the right with Salon.
Hello, I'm Salon Booth Grooms, and I am a pageant queen many, many times over, somebody that is heavily involved in my community, and I am now so honored to be one half of the director's team for the Miss Mercer County and the Miss Mercer County's teen pageant. So I'm very honored to be here to represent Mercer County and to escort the lovely Miss New Jersey and Miss New Jersey's teen and the wonderful Melissa to this wonderful radio show podcast, because I think it's so important that we show the women that are making a difference in the community.
Of course.
Hi, I'm Melissa Tenzer. I am the CEO of Dress for Success Central New Jersey. I'm also the founder of the Cherry Tree Foundation. I do a lot of community work here right in Mercer County and beyond, and I'm so proud to be a part of the show today to talk a little bit about the Cherry Tree and the history.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Delaney Higgins, and I'm Miss New Jersey's teen. I'm a part of the Miss America organization, which is all about service and scholarship, sisterhood and success and style. So I'm super honored to be here tonight and being joined by my lovely Miss.
Hi, everyone. I'm Belle Nicholas. I am Miss New Jersey 2025. On top of that, I am also a doctoral student in psychology at Widener University, working towards becoming a psychologist, and I'm a mental health advocate as well. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about Miss America, how Miss America has helped me in my education, how it's helped me to become an advocate, and also some of the work that Delaney and I have been doing over the past 6 months as your state title holders.
All right. So let's start with you then.
Okay, sounds good.
Why did you enter? How did you get into it?
So I started a little bit different than some women who compete in pageants. There's a lot of women in the Miss America organization who started when they were like 5 or 6. But my journey started when I was 22 years old. I had graduated with my undergraduate degree. I thought I wanted to be an actor. That was my plan. And after I graduated, I realized it wasn't making me happy. And I was like, oh man, so I have a whole bachelor's degree that I don't want to use at this point. So what do I do? And I have my own mental health lived experience. When I was 17, I experienced depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. And I had used those experiences throughout my college years to support my friends and to help people direct them towards the counseling center or any sort of mental health resources that they needed. And my family suggested that I become a therapist. And I was like, that sounds cool. So I wanted to go to school and become a psychologist, but then I was like, wait, how am I going to pay for that? And my mom said, well, the Miss America organization is a scholarship organization, so you could compete, you could use your performance skills that you just learned and cultivated over the last 4 years, and you could earn money towards school. And I said, I never thought of that before. So I gave it a shot. I decided 2 weeks before my first local competition that I would compete. And I won. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. I went to states my first year and I was first runner up. And ever since, I've earned $45,000 worth of scholarship for my education. And I've also used my experiences in mental health volunteering to bolster my resume in order to get into a graduate program without a psychology undergraduate degree. So Miss America has really transformed my life, not just because it's given me this once in a lifetime opportunity, but also because it's helped me to create the woman I am today and to be the mental health professional that I want to be to help people throughout one day New Jersey.
Wow, that's a powerful story. And it all started with the nudge from my mom.
Yes, that normally does.
Yes, that's great to know. And speaking of scholarships, right? Let's talk about the Cherry Tree Foundation.
Thank you so much for that opportunity. So the Cherry Tree Foundation I formed just last year. My sister passed away a year ago and from leukemia. Her name was Catherine Marie Satilli, and I wanted to be able to continue her legacy. She was an educator. She was a teacher. She was a singer, we come from a family of singers. So I started to think about how I could honor her and to give back to the community. My background is I sit on many boards, Mercer County Community College Foundation, giving out scholarships, Dress for Success, and just am very involved in Mercer County and the community as a whole. So I started the foundation to give out scholarships for students that are looking to be a part of music or education. And it was formed in last year, and we already gave out our first scholarship in Bucks County to a Neshaminy school student. And this year we are looking to partner with Salon and the organization to be able to give out a scholarship here as well. So it's called the Cherry Tree Foundation. Katie Tinzel was a singer. That's a song that my sister and I sang together. I used to be a wedding singer as well. So it's continuing our legacy. It's very healing for my family, and that Mercer County recognizes that I've been in the community so long, giving back to others, that they're giving back to the foundation to help this great organization, that you're all a part of it. And you said it beautifully, that really to continue that education and have this organization back, my family is amazing. So I want to thank you all for that. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you.
And speaking of scholarships, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So I have received over $21,000 in scholarship money to forward my education. I actually just got my last acceptance letter today, so I got admitted into Penn State, which I'm super excited about.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting. What a great college.
But I also have an opportunity to have a presidential scholarship to the University of Alabama as well as Mississippi State. So the Miss America organization is the largest scholarship provider for women across the entire country, which is just incredible. And I mean, I want to become a high school social worker. My community service initiative is all about being accepting of those with intellectual and physical disabilities. And I'm super excited to be able to make that my life's work as a high school social worker and helping those with intellectual disabilities thrive in high school settings.
All right. Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
a lot of
big
money.
deal.
It's really cool.
That is. That's
So,
excellent.
What about your pageant background?
Yeah,
How did that start?
When I was 6 years old, actually before I was even born, my mom was a local title holder or local director in the 90s.
No pressure.
No pressure there. And so then when I was about 7 or 8, I was a little princess for the Miss America organization. Now our little honeybees. And when I moved to Florida for a little bit, and then as soon as I came back, I turned the age of 13. So I was, okay, I can try it. Like, I've always looked up to the Miss America girls. I've watched Miss New Jersey for years and years and years. So it was super cool to have the opportunity to now compete for the title of Miss New Jersey's teen. So I started out as a local title holder, and 3 years later, I'm now standing here as Miss New Jersey's teen, which is just such an incredible honor because it's honestly transformed my life, and this has been the best year of my life with my belle. It's all about mentorship too, which is great. The teens always have a miss, so it's great that I have someone that I can look up to in hopes of being a future Miss New Jersey.
That's wonderful. I love that mentorship. That's really important.
That's nice. And Salon, let's talk to the director.
Yes.
The one making it happen.
Yes. Well, it's such an honor to have this position and be able to carry on my Miss America journey. I actually started competing in the Miss America locals in the 90s. I competed in New Jersey, and what I gained from this organization was so monumental. I've been able to public speak, really rock any job interview I ever get because of what you learn in the organization. But most importantly, it showed me the dedication to community service. And I still hold that with me today. And I made lifelong friends that I still have to this day from competing in the organization. So I love to have the opportunity to help other young women achieve their goals and dreams, and to have Belle and Delaney as people that they can look up to. I'm so proud of them. And as you hear them speak right now, you see what the organization has done for them. You see what it can do for women, and it empowers women. And then when we connect with a powerhouse who is a powerhouse in the community, we are just going to be doing the greatest things. And I just want people to know that we exist and to join us on this wonderful Miss America journey.
All right. So let's talk about February, I think it is.
February 7th. Yes,
All right.
at Villa Victoria. So far, that's where we think we're having the competition. But it's February 7th.
All right. So the competition, I've never been to one. Take me through it, and I want to come in February.
Wait, you have to come. Please come. Delaney and I are co-hosting, so that will be super fun. We're an interesting pair when we get up there. But you mentioned athletes earlier, and I think the way to think about pageants is to think about the competition of it. Pageant competitors are very similar to athletes. You train, you work really hard, and then you got to get there and get your head in the game when you compete on the stage. So there's 5 different sections of the competition. First, you have a private interview. It's like a job interview. Being a Miss America title holder is a job. You're the face of a brand. Mm-hmm. So you need to be able to represent the brand, but then also represent yourself and what you're advocating for. So that's an 8-minute interview. That accounts for 40% of the score? 30. Wow. Huh. Yeah, 30. I don't even remember at this point. It's all changed a little bit over the years, but yeah, so 30% of your score. Then you answer an onstage question. You have 30 seconds to answer a question that pertains to your community service initiative. And then you have the fitness portion, which you train for that physically. It's a partnership with the American Heart Association. That's one of Miss America's biggest partnerships to promote heart health, specifically the Go Red for Women movement, because heart disease is the #1 cause of death for women in the United States. So it's really important that we talk about that, talk about healthy living. And so fitness is meant to capture that. And then we have the evening gown competition, and that's kind of like the classic pageant thing people think about. They think of Miss America in her gown, putting the crown on her head. So that's like the classic Miss America. And then we also have the talent portion. And so talent can be a lot of different things. Personally, I'm a singer. Delaney is a baton twirler. She's an awesome baton twirler. She is on Team USA, and she's ranked top 5 in the whole world for baton twirling. So she's crazy, like insanely good. But then there's other things. You don't have to have a traditional talent. We have the Her Story portion, and we actually have a former Miss America, Madison Marsh, who won Miss America doing what we call a Her Story. It's a 90-second story about something from your life that's important. And that's also a talent too. She brought learning to fly a plane, which is because she's a pilot. She brought that to life on stage during her story. So she showed a talent in a different way. And so all together, you're assessed and scored over those 5 phases of competition. And at the end of the day, the person who scores the highest is then the top 5 are called from there. And then there's a ranking, and then we have whoever your new title holder is. So it's really exciting to get the chance to do that. And it's also like different day, different panel. You could have a completely different outcome. So it's a little bit different than athletes, because in a sport, typically you're scoring, and that depends on you being able to like get to the end zone or kick a soccer goal. Yeah, that's probably better ways to say that, but I was a tennis player, so I can't really say much. But it's a little bit different in pageantry, because if you get a set of 7 different people, you could have a completely different result. And so part of it is being lucky enough that the people that are sitting in front of you see you and appreciate you in that way.
For you.
Yes.
And that's what kind of really sticks with me when you say they can pick different talents. And I didn't know that. I thought everyone was doing the same thing. That's very interesting. It's very much interesting. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, I love that. Is very true. And I love the part that you said, different day, different judges, different outcome. There's a lot of locals that go on. Sometimes they're back to back. You'll have a local on a Saturday night, then a local on Sunday. That used to happen when I was in New York. Mm-hmm. And on Saturday, there would be a court, and somebody might place first runner up. And then on the Sunday, not even make the court at all. It just depends on how the judges see you that day. That's why the most important thing is to be as true to yourself as you possibly can, and put your best foot forward and believe in who you are. If you believe in who you are, if you're true to yourself and the judges see that, that authenticity gets you further than anything else. So I love that you brought that up, because that's very true.
Yeah, and I'd love to add to that too, because of course winning would be awesome. And I mean, you're very lucky when you win, but the important thing about Miss America is not winning. It's about all of the other things that you gain from it. It's about the career opportunities, the professional development, the personal development, and focusing on that is way more important than focusing on the outcome. Of course, if you're a competitive person, you want to win.
Yeah.
But honestly, the times that I perform the best are when I don't focus on that, when I set other goals. And, I talk about my mental health journey. And one of the things before I won Miss New Jersey that was really important to me was setting goals with my therapist that had nothing to do with the outcome. And during that week, I focused on, I'm going to be present in the moment. I'm not going to let my insecurities get in the way of my interactions with other people. I'm going to take a second and breathe if I'm feeling overwhelmed. And just focusing on those things made the week so much more enjoyable than when I went inward and just focused on winning. And so I think that's really the important thing about the organization.
All right.
I agree.
So in regards, you were going to go?
No, I said I agree.
In regards to February, right, and the competition, so is Cherry Tree directly sponsoring the winners? Or how are you guys?
So it's a whole new process. So thank you so much for bringing me in. The Cherry Tree definitely is aligned with building confidence through music, which is really important. And so we are looking to give a scholarship, not necessarily to the person that wins, but some of the competitors. And that way it's all inclusive that way. I think that's really important. And me being involved is, we want to give it to people that my board of directors looks at and says, they definitely deserve this. They're definitely driven. They're in music or education. And we want to be able to support in any way that we can. So I look forward to being there that night, being a part of the whole process. Really aligns with Dress for Success, where I work, building that confidence. And then through styling, which we talked about, which is really important, which is a part of the pageant. And again, the Cherry Tree, really wanting to help people continue the education regardless of the hand that you're dealt. That's the important part too. So we're so proud to be a part of all of it. And that night we will make some decisions.
We will. And I want to say something on that note where she said that the scholarship that they're providing is open to whoever is in the competition. It has no bearing on the outcome of the pageant, so anyone can win that. And that's another wonderful thing about the organization. It's not only the girls who win that get something out of it. We are trying to raise enough scholarship funds that everybody who touches that stage could walk away with something. Hopefully we can do that. We're working very hard to do that. That's one of the reasons why we're here, because we want to put the word out that that's what we're looking for. We're looking for scholarships that's going to help these young women achieve their goals and dreams. So we thank you, the Cherry Tree Foundation, for being a part of that. But there's just so many opportunities for any girl that's in the pageant to walk away with something.
Yeah, that's the important part too, is that building that confidence with everybody that's in the pageant, and it's not just about the winner. So the winner's going to get a lot of scholarships, but what about everybody else? You leave and say, I put in my heart and soul, what am I getting out of it? And we want everybody to feel like they're winners. That's what it's about, and that's what the pageant and the whole organization is about.
And I've also received scholarship when I haven't won. My first year, I was 4th runner-up, and I think I got a little over $1,000, maybe $1,500. There's awards for evening gown winners, for fitness winners, for talent winners. So there's a lot of different opportunities, even if you don't necessarily come home with the crown.
Okay. You spoke a little bit about your board and your background. I'm hearing you're in many rooms, you know a lot of people. So can you tell me a little bit about your board and kind of, some of the people you cross paths with?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working in this community for about 25 years, and I'm on the county board with Dan Benson. I think he's your boss. Workforce Development Board. So my background is, he's a great guy. My background is I owned an employment agency, and what I do at Dress for Success is I wrote curriculum to be able to bridge the gap between people that could get the education and people that needed that resume or to be able to get that job. And so we have opened up in Trenton Central High School a business academy. So I work with the juniors and seniors. It's called the Dress for Success Business Academy. And it's just phenomenal working in the community. So talking about board members, I'm circling back to Crystal Feliciano, who's a councilwoman. She's on the board of directors of the Cherry Tree. We have Tennille McCoy, who's in the assembly. She is, yes. All my favorite people in Mercer County. She is on the Cherry Tree. Also, Paula Salome Cavella, who is in the county clerk, may even be in the same office as you. She's on the Cherry Tree Foundation. And then we have Nina Melker, who is a commissioner. And a lot of people that are friends with my sister that have been a part of my journey, people that are in bands. So it's a really mixed group of individuals, but it's all people that have the theme that they care about the community. They want to raise money for the Cherry Tree Foundation to give back to the people that we serve. It's always going to be a scholarship in Mercer County. There's always going to be one in Pennsylvania, but it's a nationwide organization. We're just getting started. And with the powerhouse people, even the opportunity that Dan Benson and Salon and Evelyn called me to be able to be a part of this, because the people that I know and the money we can raise together, I was so honored when I saw that email come across from both of you that it was going to be called the Catherine Marie Satilli Courage Award. I sent it to my mother and we just started bawling. We're like, wow, me being in the community for 25 years, giving back, I didn't ask for anything, and they want to be able to partner with me so that we together can give back to people in the community. So that just touched my heart more than anything in many, many years. And it was very healing and therapeutic for my whole family. So thank you so much. And we worked together doing initiatives, beauty brands, building confidence at Dress for Success. Salon came and met with our women and did a whole session and program in our Lawrence office a couple years ago. And she continues to give back to young women, because we do feel at Trenton Central High School and other places we're working in the high schools with juniors and seniors so we can get to them and give them the possibilities of what they can be early on, and open up opportunities to bring in community members like Nina Melker, that's a vice president of banking, and other people to say, you know, this is something that you can do. This is in your wheelhouse. You have mentors, you have people in the community that care about what you're doing. You have to have a little fire in the belly to want to do it, but there are opportunities for everyone. And we're trying to showcase those opportunities with the Business Academy, showcase the opportunities with the scholarship fund. And we will be giving a scholarship to a Trenton Central High School Business Academy student this spring.
Wow.
So that's a definite. That's already slotted for that. We have the whole process going. We just have to decide which student it is, depending who graduates from our academy there.
Wow. So. I'm very much happy to hear that.
Thank you.
And you have some powerful friends, I must say. But this kind of leans into my next question, because they're going to kill me in the comments if I don't ask this question. People from the Trenton community, and as far as you speaking of Trenton Central High School, that may not be aware of, you know, Miss Mercer County and these different opportunities, how can they be more involved?
That's a really good question. So we do sessions every week, and that's something that I spoke to Crystal about, that we're going to let the teens know in the school so that they can apply for this and they can be a part of that pageant. Hopefully it's not too late, but we have sessions next. Not too late, right? You tell me the deadline. But, you know, we figured after we did this series here that we would let the students know. We talked to them about all opportunities, scholarships, you know, pageants, everything. So we want to let them know that there's that opportunity. This was, yes. Let's get started right here on the show. We'll show them this. We'll show them your little clip, right? And we'll get it going. But we do. That's the whole idea, is opening up those opportunities for the students. I mean, it's amazing. And they're so receptive. I mean, when we go in and we speak, questions, and everybody's so engaged, and we have a pop-up shop where they can get clothing for internships right there at the school. So if somebody has an internship or somebody's in need of anything, we have a whole clothing boutique there with very fancy clothes for the girls. They love it. And we do that probably once a week at the high school too. It's my favorite time. Even though I'm busy and I travel, I'm like, I'm coming over to the school. I want to see the students, and they look forward to seeing me. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm very honored that the Trenton Central High School opened up the whole concept of having us and partnering with us, just like Salon is doing now.
I really appreciate that, especially being a Trenton kid. Although I didn't go to Trenton, I didn't stay at Trenton High. I finished at Trenton Catholic. Okay. I do appreciate you being in there and doing those things. But Salon, I must ask, you mentioned your background within this space, you know, growing up. What's it like, you know, being a young black woman, a black girl coming up in this space, and what was the experience that you received?
Well, I know for me, at 13 years old, watching the Miss America pageant and watching Vanessa Williams win, that changed my entire life. I, from that moment, ran into the mirror, looked at myself and said, if she could do it, I could do it too. And that was the first spark. And the important thing is for visibility to be going on. So for them to see there's somebody that looks like me that can represent, I can do it too. So we have to get out there. there's still not a lot of women of color that are competing, unfortunately. And people like to say that pageants are vain or frivolous or they're not relevant anymore. And we can sit here and say we beg to differ. We can see what they do for us. A lot of my friends who've won pageants, and these are the women of color, they were federal prosecutors, judges, doctors, lawyers. They're doing such great things in the community, and they need to see a representation of themselves on that stage so that they know that they can do the goal also. So that, my story started when I saw Vanessa Williams. I later on found out how I can compete in the local. I did that in New York at first, and then later on moved to New Jersey, and then I started competing in New Jersey. And like they said, I didn't win, but honey, it was hard for women of color back then to win. But I did not let that stop me, and I learned what I gained from that opportunity was so much more important than winning, because I did end up winning. I won in life. All my major goals and dreams that I've ever had. I wanted to be on the cover of a magazine, done. I wanted to be in a movie, done. I wanted to be in music videos, done. I wanted to be on a talk show, done. Like everything I did that I accomplished, I owe a lot to the organization because they taught me how to sell myself. And that's what I want to do for other young women. So if you're a girl of color, don't be shy. Come on out and take a chance. We're Miss Mercer County and Miss Mercer County's team, but we're taking women from all across New Jersey. So wherever, if you go to school, work, or live in New Jersey, you can be in the competition.
I think, Mama Lou, that goes right to your point that opening up the opportunities for the girls. They may not think that they can apply. They may not know about it. So that's why we're here talking about it today, to get the word out there so everybody knows about those opportunities. You happen to be watching it on TV, and it was like the perfect storm for you to say, I can do this. We want all of the girls in Trenton Central High School to know about it and beyond. So that's why you're bringing it to the area. And this is so exciting.
Yeah, wow. I love this. And it's coming full circle. I think we're going to reach thousands of people in general, thousands of people in the Trenton area and the Mercer County area. And I'm a fan now. I'm a genuine fan. All right.
Exciting. No more sports for you.
So, yeah.
It's a sport.
Yep. And I meant to take that back as well.
Yeah.
Because from the talent portion, it's a lot of activity. All right. So,
absolutely.
Just learning about it. I think us guys, right? And I'm gonna be a guy right now and just say we think they're all. We thought it was all just runaway models. We thought everyone was just walking down the line, and I don't know why we have that mindset.
Yeah, I'm not tall enough for that, so it's definitely not that.
So,
I'm glad we're changing your mind.
Yes,
there's a lot of good work that goes into this.
It sounds more interesting.
Ladies. It's wonderful.
It's way more interesting than I thought it would be. And I also want to, one last question as we close. When we're talking about the interview portion and all of these different things happening at once, right? For someone that's in the crowd, right? How do they receive it, and how does it happen as people are watching?
Well, I think everyone in the audience may have a different perception. And what's important to know is that whoever winds up winning the state title, the national title, or even the local title, they're representing everyone in their area, in the state. It's not just like one specific group of people. So what being on stage is about connecting with people. And it's about making them feel something, feel heard, feel seen, feel represented, as we were talking about. And I think that's the thing that makes someone feel magical when you see them on stage. And the other thing is what I was getting at before, I kind of like circle back around, is that every girl up there has a different story. Right. And so you may connect with one girl's story more than someone else's. For me, there's people sitting in the audience that I know their family members have died by suicide or have struggled with schizophrenia and things like that. When I'm talking about mental health, they're looking at me and they're like, whoa, they're representing part of my story. And so that may connect with them. But someone may be talking about distracted driving. My friend Amanda Peacock, that's her community service initiative, and maybe they've been affected by distracted driving. They lost someone in their life, and so they may connect with that more. So it's about listening and learning from the women on stage, but also knowing that it's way more than what you see on the stage. There's been months of preparation. Some of these girls have won their local titles a year before they're at the state competition, and sometimes they've been working for 6 months to compete in one local competition. And so to just appreciate how much time and effort's gone into growing yourself, growing the woman on stage into a well-rounded woman, because we talked about all the phases of competition. They're so different. Every single one you have to have a different skill set for to be successful in. And so just seeing that the women up there are well-rounded, and just because one girl wins doesn't mean that she's the best woman on the stage. It's the best to that group of people. And yeah, just kind of seeing what connects with you as an audience member, and then also respecting that all of the women up there worked really hard and all of them could do the job.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. February 7th?
Yes.
Yes.
February 7th at Villa Victoria. So far. So it's going to be fun. You're going to see so many women who worked very, very hard, and they just have the goal and dream to be on the Miss America stage. And it is exciting. It is just so wonderful. And another thing is, the little thing that you see on the stage, you see women in their, gowns and looking beautiful. The real work is behind the scenes. The real work is the work it took to get there and the work that they're going to be doing afterwards. If you win, it's not like, oh, I won, I'm a superstar. No, you have your hands dirty in the community, making it happen, making sure that your legacy is just being lived out loud. And the crown is a microphone for you to just talk about whatever is on your heart, and the Community Service Initiative, and for us, the Cherry Tree Foundation.
Yeah. Another thing, it's a great networking opportunity. I think that's a big part of it. So if community members can come out and network with the women, there's going to be more opportunities. I'm attending with Christine Kernan, who's the vice president of the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber of Commerce. She also sits on my board. She's my vice president of the board. She's going to be there, and many other people that are really important in the community. So all of the contestants are going to be able to meet other people who can help them in their journeys. So I think that networking is so important. And I just really look forward to seeing you all there and giving out the scholarship.
All right. Well, there you have it. This was an amazing episode. I hope everyone's listening, and I hope you guys truly receive what's going on here. So February 7th, Villa Victoria. We'll see you then.
See you there.
Bye.